For the first time in years, the sun shines on us Marvel vs. Capcom fans. Marvel 3 is thriving thanks to its amazing modding scene. Resident Dude Bro Maximilian is funding a mod to make Marvel Infinite a better game, and on the greatest Nintendo Direct since God knows how long, Capcom announced the Marvel vs. Capcom collection on Nintendo Switch, PC, and PS5. Good lord, it feels great to be a Marvel fan again! Okay, let me explain. The last title in the Marvel vs. Capcom series was 2017's Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. When it was initially revealed, people were mildly excited, to say the least.
Yo! Fuck you! Oh my god, what the fuck? How the fuck? Whoa! Dude, this is... What the fuck? Get the fuck out!
As the months went on, the excitement started to dwindle. Not only were there some very questionable graphics, but we were also having some questions about the roster choice as well. Months towards the release of Marvel Infinite, people realized something. Not only are there no mutants or Fantastic Four characters like Doctor Doom and a Super Skrull, all the characters who appeared in the game happen to be all in big-time movies with the exception of Ghost Rider and Nova. Fingers pointed towards Disney for wanting to devalue the X-Men in order for them to be purchased so as to appear in the MCU. Though, it also didn't help that Capcom employee Combo Fiend, also a prominent member of the fighting game community, had this to say. If you were to actually think about it, these characters are just functions. They're just doing things. Magneto, case in point, is a favorite because he has an 8-way dash and he's really fast, right? So most of our technical players, all they want to do is triangle jump and that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? Nova can do the same thing. Captain Marvel can do the same thing. Ultron can do the same thing. Yes. Because that's why people look forward to having Magneto in a fighting game. For his 8-way dash. Woohoo. When the game released, Capcom received massive criticism. Despite the stellar gameplay, the stages looked boring, the roster was mediocre, and Dante looked like he had seen death. It also didn't help that Capcom was still carrying baggage from the previous misstep in Street Fighter V. It also seemed possible that the characters people were looking forward to, such as our missing mutants, could turn up as future DLC, but Capcom eventually cut all support from the game, leaving it dead in the water. For a while, all seemed hopeless. With Marvel Infinite being a flop, it seemed unlikely we would get anything regarding the Marvel franchise in the future. However, it wasn't all that bad. On the same day Infinite was announced, it was also said that there would be a PC port of Marvel 3 coming very soon. Once that was released, it was considered to be a very well done port, and eventually, like many other PC games, people started working on mods for the game. Characters like Cyclops were added to the game initially as skins over existing characters like Sea Viper. Over time, Cyclops was updated to no longer be a simple reskin, but now he had his moves from his previous Marvel games, including his super sassy Optic Blast. This enabled the idea of adding more characters regardless of whether they had been already in the franchise. Characters like Gambit, Captain Marvel, and Batsu from rival schools would later be added, and eventually they'd have their own slots in the select screen as kind of like secret characters. These mods revitalized Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to the point where there are tournaments focused solely on the modded characters. The mods haven't even stopped at Marvel 3. Recently, Resident Dude Bro Maximilian revealed he was funding a project by Twitter user Rin, which allowed for a revamped version of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Why do I want to do any of this? Why am I spending like thousands of my own dollars to effectively mod games that will never net me a return? I simply do it, number one, because I care, and I think the effort of a lot of people needs to go compensated in some way, and I have to figure that out for the future, especially because I feel like this MVCI project is something that I might want to helm personally. I really appreciate what Rin has already done with the existing elements and assets, effectively get something that is making me really happy.
As of now, the mod includes a better looking art style, some changes to character effects, and a new True vs. True mode that allows for 4 players all on screen without the need for tagging. It'll be some time before the project comes out, but fans are eagerly anticipating its release, myself included. If you know the history of Maximilian and Marvel vs. Capcom, you know this is a huge passion project led by a man who just wants to do right for the fans. And then, if the hype train wasn't already hype enough, Capcom nonchalantly announces the Marvel vs. Capcom collection for Nintendo Switch, PC, and PS4. It collects the 6 arcade Marvel vs. Capcom games as well as Capcom's Punisher beat 'em up and includes online play for all games with some extra features including a training mode, some artwork, and a jukebox for the iconic soundtrack. The game has now gone up for pre-order and has been the #1 Nintendo Switch game on Amazon for 5 days straight. These games were practically inaccessible since Disney removed Marvel 1 and 2 from all digital stores, and upon this announcement, it delivered a beacon of hope for the future of the franchise. There's no guarantee that the high sales of this collection would lead to a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but I think it's safe to say that me and the rest of the Marvel vs. Capcom fanbase are very hopeful for its future. With that being said, this is Jay Snammer from New York City. Goodbye, sayonara, alvida, peace.